This is day 3 from Dreamhack Bucharest, StarLadder 12. My name is Div and I'm from eSport Addicts, and we have here with us SyndereN. Hello and welcome to Bucharest.
Thank you.
So you've seen, I'll just go directly to business. You've seen a lot of tournaments by now and you've commentated a lot of them. What's your impression on first StarLadder that it's not held in Cyber Arena?
I think the tournament organization, like the event itself, and the amount of people, the whole atmosphere in there is really great. I think I'm really positively surprised with the amount of with the size of the audience and how engaged they are with the teams, especially Cloud9. They're cheering for a lot, of course, because Bone 7. That's really good. As far as the games have been great. StarLadder for me is a kind of a historical tournament for Dota 2, and for them to move here and have a good first event, I think is really important. The downside for me this time has been there's a lot of time between the games. The days stretch fairly long compared to the amount of games we've had. Yesterday we kind of got lucky with a couple of 2-0s, else it could have been a very long day. So that's like my main point of criticism is the time we have between. But apart from that, it's been a really nice event.
Well, on the first day we had the problem with IG not being in time in Romania. Yeah. I was watching some games yesterday and your commentary, and I've seen actually in the first day we had a lot of Lina games, sport or even a carry Lina, and I know when you used to be a pro player you had this hero like your signature hero. Do you think it's a thing that she will come back now in the new meta, or is just a opportunity hero?
Well, we don't know what's happening in the next patch, which is coming soon. So I don't know if she's going to get changed. I think a big part of the buff to Lina was the Aghanim Scepter upgrade and the fact that Ewell's became as popular and as strong as it is right now. Those two upgrades to really fit the hero very well. In addition to that, the fact that when you pick it in the draft, it can go both. It can go mid, it can actually even play safe lane, you can play it support, and in some cases even an aggressive tri lane. So it's a very flexible hero that puts a lot of pressure on the opponents to consider in the mid game. If they get the slightest bit out of position, you get Ewells and you get burst down. Like it's one of the few heroes that you can put on support and core, and regardless of where you put them in the mid game, they can almost solo a hero. So that's a very powerful tool to have. And yeah, I want to say mainly the items, but mainly Ewells and Ags have been bringing her as high as she is right now.
Well, it's kind of the same situation with Sniper, because his synergy with the items, it's so good. And yeah, speaking of your heroes and the time that you're a pro player, is it a moment in any game when you are hyped and you think like, I could come back and play again?
Oh, yeah, that's not a secret either. I've talked about that a couple of times in the past, that I feel like making a comeback. Like when I see the teams play and everything, I've had that feeling for a while. It's not something new that I would like to play again. But I've said it's definitely not happening before TI5. It might not be happening this year, and it might not happen ever. Like, I want to come back, but at the same time, the position I'm in right now and the way things work. I don't feel like, if you understand, I don't want to do a gamble where let's say I take 4 up-and-coming players that I don't know at all, and we try to build a team, we try to go as far as we can, and in order to do that I have to commit all the time, which means I will not be able to perform the same amount of work with Dota Cinema, with casting, with organizing, being out here, for example. Stuff like this will not be enough.
You need to take a break, definitely, from commentating and casting.
Not necessarily like a full break, but I will obviously be missing out on opportunities, and that means, like, what makes me want to come back as a player is the desire more than anything. I really feel like it. It's the main drive isn't like, oh, I could win, like, let's say millions of dollars at TI or whatever. I mean, regardless of what I do, I want it to be sustainable. So whether I'm a caster or a player, I need to feel like, even though of course playing is a lot more performance based, like, you're obviously going to earn more money if you win more. That's the spirit of competition, right? That's how it works.
Is it more rewarding? I mean, when you win a game, or when you achieve something in a game, is it more rewarding than commentating TI final, for example?
Winning TI finals would be more rewarding than casting TI finals. I don't know. It's a weird, or it's not a weird comparison, but I don't know like where the threshold is. Like winning a minor tournament for me would be less rewarding than casting TI finals. Winning a major tournament, like I don't know where the threshold is. If it's like, if I won StarLadder, that would be, that would be something really big for me. One of the, probably the biggest moment of my esports career was winning Dreamhack against Navi in the finals. That was a really big moment. I was super proud, very happy, and it was a great experience all around. with the team. So, yes, winning is more rewarding for me, and playing in general is more rewarding. But now I'm making it sound like I don't enjoy casting, which is completely untrue, right? It's just a personal desire for me, but I absolutely love the work I do as well. So I guess I'm just in a spoiled situation, really, where I really just like what I do.
You start commentating or casting actually with Toby, and you got known for your synergy as a duo. And yesterday and the first day we heard Toby from from StarCraft yelling. How was for you casters there to hear him from time to time? Did he interfere with you?
You mean when he was casting over at the CS?
Yes.
That didn't really. That wasn't distracting at all. Like when we're casting, we're in the zone. I've been talking to him here. I think it's really cool that he gets the opportunities he does in CS:GO and casts that. It was not a distraction for us at all. It's just, in a way, it kind of just adds to the atmosphere that there's a cool event on the other side of the wall where there's a great CS tournament going on as well. So it's great.
Caster also.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you got the time to read the news from Valve with the 3 major tournaments? What's your opinion on it?
I'm really happy with it. Obviously, we haven't got much information yet, so we don't know exactly what's coming, but it's something I have been wanting for quite a while now, to have multiple tournaments throughout the year that have like... It's not like we don't have major tournaments, because we do, right? We've had multiple StarLadders, we've had ESLs, Dreamhacks, whatever, you know, as the Western tournaments, MLG. There's been a lot of tournaments, but to have like the main important thing for me about this is how it adds like continuity throughout the year, where in the past,
The teams.
yes, with the teams, and also just if you're a fan and you follow the game, there's like you have like these points that just get more highlight and that you can look forward to, that keep the year together. So in the past, it's been the game has been, in my opinion, too centered around TI. It's an amazing tournament. It is the top tournament of the year, and I think it's still going to be, even with the major system introduced, it's still supposed to be something special. But it's gonna, for the fans, it will be easier to follow teams, because you will have like this system where, the way I'm imagining it is that the majors will kind of like give you access to each other. So if you do well in a major, that qualifies you for the next. The team stays together. There's minor transfer windows where you can swap players out, but you can only switch 2 players, I think was in the rules or something like that in these transfer windows. So there's going to be more hype and speculation around team rosters. There's not going to be like these full remakes unless it's absolutely necessary. You're not going to completely remake your team. Yeah, something like that is like all these extreme like shuffles that have been happening are going to be less prevalent, and I just think it's very healthy for the scene. I think it's going to grow it better. You see it in CSGO. I feel like it's a really good system over there. Even though I don't watch that much CSGO, I love the game. I've played a lot of CS in the past as well. 1.6 was one of the games I grew up with, but it's still, even if you're not very much into CS. Like, I don't watch it a lot, but I watch it occasionally. The Masters are the points that I'm like, okay, I need to watch this. This is a big tournament. Like this. Yeah. If I can assign X tournaments I watch throughout the year, these are the ones I really want to watch, right?
But from the perspective of new players, really young ones, like I don't know, the pop stars and everything. I mean, there's been a lot of talking about the fact that teams are preferred this time for TI5 to recycle old players instead of giving chance to someone. We have few exceptions, Sumail and Zai, and there is someone else. I forgot name. But do you think these majors and the fact that they have a limited period and a limited number of players that they could switch would affect even more this thing, that they won't gamble on a new guy and they would prefer to recycle someone? I
think the teams are going to pay, like they're going to make more conscious decisions instead of just, like trying, just like, oh, we need new players, who can we look for, right? Of course, I mean, you go into the process of searching for talent, whether it's an established player or a new player. You mentioned Sumail as a great example from EG doing that. If the transfer window is more narrow, then first of all, you go into like actual negotiations with other teams, like a big possibility. But when it comes to discovering new talent, I think the way this system is going to work is that the Masters are going to have focus, but the other tournaments are obviously still going to run. It's not like the Masters will kill out the other tournaments. So up-and-coming players will still be proving themselves in that, and it's going to be, the transfer window is going to be their like opportunity to more naturally get in, because there's like an assigned period for them. Like in the past, we haven't really had a transfer period. So I think this is going to put more, in the way I predict it, it's going to put more emphasis on drafting in new talent, because now there's this window that's designed for drafting in players, whereas previously it was like, oh, our team isn't working, let's shuffle with some other teams, mix and match and see if we can get something working. But now you can't get more than 2 players from another team. So either need to mix and match with multiple teams, or you need to. And what if they aren't in a position where they feel like that's the right choice? It feels like no matter how I look at it, I have a hard time seeing this being a bad thing for the up-and-coming players. I think they're going to ultimately benefit a bit, but it is generally a problem that's been in the scene for a very long time that it's hard to break through. I think it's still going to be hard, but might be a step in the right direction, especially if we get a little, not only from the transfer window, putting more emphasis on transfers, but also if in general these masters, by being a tier higher, in an indirect way, help the other tournaments promote up-and-coming teams a bit more, because the top teams will be focusing so much on the masters that they'll probably give a little bit more space to the smaller tournaments, perhaps. It's hard to predict.
Speaking of TI, we had TI4 with over 10 million prize pool, and they announced that they will release the compendium next week. Do you have any speculation on which amount of money will grow this year? I
have no idea. I think the TI4's success was a surprise to everyone. Like, we knew the prize pool had been growing the last years. TI3 was great. TI2 was already but TI4 just exploded because Valve got a really good idea on how to use the compendium, how to make it upgradable, reward people that contribute a lot. I think they've put a lot of thought into it. It's their one event of the year where they really put in a lot of work to host an event. So with the position they're in and what they can do, I think they come up with something new that's going to be surprising and really interesting, and that people will want to buy it to support the tournament and to get something in return. Valve put a lot of emphasis on value for your money. Thank you a lot for your time, and if you have any shout-outs to do, please. Well, shout out to all the fans that are here at the event. It's really cool that we have so many people watching, and just to everyone watching from home, it's been a great tournament. I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, enjoy the grand finals as well, coming up soon. I don't know when this gets posted, but regardless, whether it's before or after, I hope you really enjoyed the tournament. Okay. Thank you very much.